MUNGUIA returns to the ring this Saturday, January 27th, against RYDER. And MUNGUIA has been strategically placed in a position for something that many may not see on the horizon for him, but it's becoming more and more crystal clear. Let's talk about this upcoming fight. MUNGUIA returns to the ring Saturday, January 27th. In a matchroom promotion on DAZN, he's taking on RYDER from the UK in a fight at the super middleweight division. And it's going to be a measuring stick because MUNGUIA's countryman and predecessor, Canelo Alvarez, recently fought RYDER and had a lackluster victory over RYDER where he won a decision and RYDER endured a great deal of punishment from Canelo. Now, the fact that the fight is being campaigned at 168 pounds, it really leaves room to question whether RYDER is truly a 168 pounder. But MUNGUIA, who is going to enjoy youth on his side, but will he enjoy experience? That's going to be the main issue here when these two men face off, because MUNGUIA is already presently 42-0 with 33 KOs. And entering this fight, he's going to be performing against a guy who's a veteran but hasn't really fought the quality of opposition like until he faced Canelo. But MUNGUIA taking on RYDER, who happens to look a lot like Canelo Alvarez for whatever strange reason. I've talked about that in the past and made jokes about it. He just doesn't have red hair like Saul. But RYDER will be coming into this fight, as I said, his record is 32-6, and he has 18 KOs. He's been stopped one time in his career. Nicknamed the Gorilla, he's 35 years of age. He's 5'9". He has a 72-inch reach. And when you think about how he has fought, the last fight, May of 2023 against Canelo, saw him get banged up quite severely. Now, he did stand up to Canelo in the fight. He did show guts, but he didn't show ring intelligence. And then he also didn't show the ability to turn a corner and make certain types of adjustments necessary. He bled profusely throughout the fight, which meant he might have had a broken nose or something. And technically, he wasn't able to show anything that would warrant you to think he may have a chance against the younger MUNGUIA, who happens to be a reckless infighter. And at 6 foot tall, he's going to be looking to use his height and reach advantages. And after rehydrating post weigh-in, he may even bring a weight advantage that he can use and impose on RYDER that Canelo couldn't do. Remember, the kid, as I said, is 6 foot tall and 27 years of age. He can be physical. It depends on the opponent that he faces. And I do believe that in this fight, he will try to be physical with RYDER. he has the Canelo blueprint to observe from and look at as what he can do best. Against Canelo, Ryder was able to show us that he is a durable, rugged competitor. But that'll be about it. Munguia has faster hands. He does have punches that he can throw out of the toolbox of Arsenal, but Munguia is reckless, as I mentioned, and Ryder may have an opportunity to land and score, as Sergey Derevyanchenko did when he fought Munguia. Many people felt that Derevyanchenko won the fight against Munguia, who allowed Derevyanchenko to score at will and pummel him to a degree that you really wonder if Munguia understood what defense means at all in boxing. His vulnerabilities are readily apparent. But as I indicated in the opening of this video, I believe I can see what's going on when it comes down to Jaime Munguia. Munguia, I feel, is being groomed as the heir apparent to Canelo Alvarez when he finally vacates the sport. What do you mean by that, Stormy? What I mean is that, being from Tijuana, Mexico, he's a solid Mexican fighter, and his undefeated record presently is already in the 40s. When you think about the Mexican fighters who have been champions, lots of them had been undefeated going deep into their careers, and they have a huge box office drawing power when it comes to boxing, especially when they can pit themselves against rivals like the Irish or even the Puerto Rican fan base, or even fighters from the UK, which the Mexican and UK rivalry has seemingly struck heat tremendously over the past 3 or 4 years. So there's a lot of marketability there. And in this fight, the desire of Ryder is going to come into question, because if he wants to heighten that rivalry, being from the UK, he's a perfect foil for Munguia. But this is Munguia's show. It's not Ryder's show. They're going to make comparisons as to how he fares against Ryder as opposed to how Canelo fared against Ryder. And if he stops Ryder or does something more devastating in his performance than Canelo was able to deliver, what you're going to notice immediately is a shift in the marketing toward and backing Jaime Munguia. I do believe he's the one waiting in the wings that the PTB would like to see. That doesn't mean he hasn't earned it, but it just means that the politics of the sport play out consistently. And if you keep your eyes peeled, you can see exactly what they're doing from time to time. I expect it to be a rough go for Jaime, but it's going to be a rougher go for John Ryder. Why? Because he took so much punishment in the previous fight against Canelo Alvarez. And you just can't get beyond that. You have to acknowledge when fighters are in rough fights. Yes, the fight was in May of 2023. However, you have to look at it. He's 30 plus years of age, and the wear and the tear is there. That was a brutal fight he had against Canelo, and a long rest was needed, but not to come back from that rest immediately against a younger version, a bigger version, a more aggressive version than the fighter he last faced. And that's why I can see this being a send-off for John Ryder. I expect Jaime Munguia to stop him possibly around somewhere between 8 and 10. But let me know your thoughts. This is Stormy B Man.